Hello students, welcome to this new art lesson. I'm sure you have been to churches in Mauritius. Have you ever noticed colorful window panels made from glass? In fact, biblical scenes are depicted using the stained glass technique. So let us see what stained glass is all about. During the Gothic and the Renaissance periods, stained glass was one of the foremost techniques of painting practiced in Europe. Stained glass depicted religious narratives in churches and celebrated family and political ties in city halls, and even decorated the windows of private houses. The term stained glass is derived from the silver stain that was often applied to the side of the window that would face the outside of the building. Stained glass was used to make decorative windows so that the light would shine through the painting. It is a form of painting that began over 1,000 years ago and is still essentially made in the same way today. Various artworks using the stained glass technique has been produced since ancient times. Pieces of colored glass are arranged to make decorative windows. Windows of the Christian churches were decorated with ornate stained glass patterns. Images based on religious scenes were realistic and human figures were widely used. On the contrary, in the early Islamic art, stained glass based on geometrical patterns and floral motifs were used to decorate mosques, palaces, and public spaces. After completion of the stained glass window, a translucent, colorful image is revealed when seen through light. For this reason, stained glass windows have been described as illuminated wall decorations. Many stained glass windows have been produced around the world. Here are some most famous ones. The Saint Chapel in Paris, the Nasir al-Mulk Mosque in Iran, the Chartres Cathedral in France, and a well-known museum of stained glass and glass art is found in Switzerland. From the years 1948 to 1951, Henri Matisse worked on plans for the Chapelle du Rosaire de Vence and designed the exterior as well as the details of the interior decoration. In Mauritius, stained glass has been widely used in churches to illustrate biblical scenes. Interesting artworks can be viewed in Notre-Dame de Bon Secours Church in Trou-de-Douce. Marcel Lagesse, a famous Mauritian artist, made the designs. Colorful stained glass works can also be seen at Saint-François d'Assise in Pamplemousses. Dear students, now that we have completed our visit into some of the local churches, let us work out an activity on stained glass. We will need A4 black Bristol paper, ruler, pencil, muslin paper of different colors, rounded scissors, paper glue, A4 size paper, colored pencils. Obviously, we are not using glass in this activity. As an alternative, we are using muslin paper. This is why we call it paper vitrail. Any stained glass work requires research and careful planning. Here are some examples of windows. You need to work out a design first. Draw a window of approximately 25 by 15 centimeters. You may adjust the design proportionately. Explore geometrical shapes and patterns. You can see that the design is based on a brick wall. Then look for an appropriate color scheme. Dear students, refer to the design that you have made and reproduce the same design on an A4 piece of paper using pencil. After having drawn the design on an A4 piece of paper, you have to fold your paper in half, like this. Use a round tip pair of scissors to cut along the design in order to create a template. You have your template. Now, take the A4 piece of black Bristol paper and repeat the same process, that is, fold your paper into half. Take the template and place it on the black Bristol paper. Then cut along the template. You now have your window. You take a piece of black Bristol paper, you cut strips of 1 centimeter large and strips of 0.5 centimeter large. We are going to use these large strips and glue them on the window to use as supports, in fact. Take your glue, stick on the window here. Repeat the same process vertically. You now have completed the lower part of the window. You take the 0.5 centimeter large strip and you are going to complete the upper part. Don't forget to refer to your design. Now I will glue the 0.5 centimeter strips horizontally. First you measure. We have now completed the horizontal strips. Refer to your design and try to measure the space for the vertical strips. Okay, students, we have completed the brick design for your stained glass window. It's now time to stick the muslin papers. Again, you refer to your design, but you should cut your muslin papers and stick them in reverse. You put your window on the muslin paper, use a pencil, trace out the shape, now you have the required shape. We are going to cut out this shape, but before you should trace at least 3 millimeters larger . It's very important to cut a shape larger than the drawn shape. Okay, now once you have your shape, you can stick it on the required area. And try to see it if it is well cut. Be very careful, avoid overlapping while sticking your machine papers. Now that your paper vitrail is complete, place it against light. Can you see the translucent characteristic of your work? Here are a few designs explored in regular or irregular patterns. More complex designs can be explored, but requires the use of craft knives. These can be attempted under strict supervision of the teacher or parents. A blend of interesting and colorful designs create optical illusion. Dear students, you have been exposed to paper vitrail, an alternative to stained glass in the school context. Paper vitrail changes the classroom atmosphere when stick on the window pane and at the same time protects against direct sunlight. So, why don't you give it a try? On this note, let me end today's lesson. Hope to see you soon.